practicing the art before she could hold a pencil. She loves writing about the fantasy world she lives in. Thank you, Don.
So, the piece I chose today, there was a point when I was really trying to find my voice, and so I was going off of like word prompts and stuff, so I would just write whatever came into my head. And this wasn't technically a word prompt, this was more a meme I saw, and there was just a sign that says alcohol because no good story starts with a salad. And in my mind I said, bet. So that's what this story is. A good story that starts with a salad. Oh my God, girl, where have you been? Well, you're not gonna believe this. I was having a salad at that sidewalk cafe on Main Street. Oh, did you get the one with kale and quinoa? No, I like that one with the spinach and strawberry vinaigrette. That's really good too. Anyway, I was just digging in when this cute guy throws himself into the seat across from you. He grabs a roll of silverware off the next table and gets a forkful of my salad. Rude. Wait, how cute was he? He looked like Ryan from All My Friends. Oh yeah, he's hot. Pretend we're together and I'll make it worth your while, he says. Did you tell him to get lost? I would have, but then these other guys came running down the street. One stopped right in front of us. I could see a gun in his jacket and I kind of froze. Then cute guy gives me the puppy dog eyes. You covered for him? Yeah. He whispers in my ear, pretend I'm telling you something flirty. I kind of smile and giggle, and the big dudes with the guns finally move on. Thanks, he says. Then he throws a 20 on the table and runs off. 20? That's making it worth your while? I didn't have time to care about that. The guys with the guns came running back. The one that stopped before looks at me. Where's the man that was with you, he asks. He went to the bathroom, I say. Wait, why did you keep covering for him? They had guns. I got scared. The guy looks over his sunglasses at me. Bathroom? I have reports of a man matching his description running out the other entrance. I say, well, he told me that's where he was going. Another of the dudes comes back and says, we've looked at camera footage from 3 different businesses. It was him. Mr. Sunglasses says, ma'am, you're going to have to come with us. I say, I'm not going anywhere with you. What's going on anyway? He pulls out his wallet and shows me an FBI badge. I'm Agent Bryce. The man that sat at your table was Heathcliff Ross. He's an international jewel thief, and we've been chasing him since he got to town yesterday. I say, okay, so what does that have to do with me? I mean, the guy just sat down and asked me to play along. Bryce says, Ross is very good at hiding his identity. None of us has seen his face. You have. He doesn't usually leave witnesses like this. We need to get you somewhere safe. I tried to explain, I'm sorry, but I have to go. It's my friend's dog's birthday. He said, your friend's dog? Ma'am, you're in danger. Hold up, did you explain how important Mr. Tinkles is and how his pool party birthday is the bash of the whole summer? I tried, but before I knew it, they were loading me and my salad into a van. Wait, why the salad? He ate some of it. They wanted his DNA. They grabbed the fork and napkin too. Was the van full of cool equipment and computers like the ones on TV? No, it was just a windowless van with benches along either side. I couldn't see where we were going, but we were moving fast, until we slammed to a stop and this other guy gets in. Rice says, this is Stanley. He's a sketch artist. I need you to tell him everything you remember about Ross. Agent Bryce gives me his sunglasses look again. So I start to tell them, just like I told you. Agent Bryce gives me his sunglasses look again. We need a description. I say, I just gave you one. Stanley says, he looks like a guy from a TV show? Isn't a description I can go off of. I say, well, that's not my fault. Bryce says, maybe it is. Maybe you are his accomplice and that's why he showed you his face. I say, that's crazy. You think international jewel thief? He starts to say something, but the driver slams on the brakes. The whole van shakes. We rock a second time, and Stanley gets knocked to the floor. Agent Rice goes up front to see what's going on. And he tells us to hang on to something because we're being rammed. Rammed? Like the movies? Yeah, except movies don't show how much it hurts. We get hit again, and everyone is thrown around. I land on Stanley twice before I just stay on the floor. Sally goes everywhere, the van spins, I almost threw up, and then we hit something really hard. And I've hardly had time to sit up before the back door opens, and this woman is standing there with a gun. Come with me now, she says. Not so fast, Malta, Stanley says. I look over at him. He has his own gun, and it's pointing at the woman. I think I'm about to get in the middle of a gunfight, and the only weapon I have is the fork I'm sitting on. What could you have done with a fork? She had a gun. You know I took those self-defense classes at the gym. Oh yeah. My trainer didn't mention forks, but I wasn't going to get kidnapped without a fight. You go, girl. Well, I had my fork ready. Agent Rice comes out of nowhere and tackles the woman. They both go flying back out the door and start fighting in the dirt. Malta says, we just want the girl. And Rice says, you know I can't let you have her. I hear a bang. Stanley falls back into the van, and it takes me a minute to realize he's been shot. Not Stanley, he's my favorite. Someone grabs my shoulder, and my self-defense training worked because I turned around and aimed for the face with my fork. Did it work? Yes, I got the guy right in the eye. He's screaming, I'm screaming, and there's blood everywhere. The fork is just stuck there. A lot of FBI and ambulance people appear, and Agent Rice leads me to a car and lets me clean the blood off my hands. Well, that was dramatic, he says. I guess if you work for the FBI, you see this kind of thing all the time. I don't. It's a lot more than dramatic for me, I say. He kind of chuckles and says, even in the FBI, I don't see people get stabbed with forks very often. Another agent comes over, and she says, Malta and the others got away. We have Morris in custody. He's on his way to the hospital. Stanley is too. He should be okay. It was just a flesh wound. Morris is already talking. He says someone is paying them to get something back that Ross stole, and Ross told them he would trade them for the girl. Ross says, wait here, I want to talk to Morris myself. He locks me in like I'm some kind of criminal, and that's when I noticed the time and I realized that I was totally missing your party. Why didn't you just call me? My phone and purse were still in the crashed van. All I had on me was the 20 that I'd shoved in my pocket. Rice finally comes back. Morris didn't have anything to add. I'm taking you to a safe house, he says. I tell him, just take me home. Ross doesn't know where I live or anything. Malta is very dangerous. She will find you. You know, the last person who tried to kidnap me got stabbed with a fork, I say, trying to sound brave. I get a smile out of him, but he just says, I'll be careful. He drives us to Fairhope. Ooh, that gated community? Yup, Rice just punches in a code and the gate opens, and we pull up to a driveway with its own gate and code. Rice says, this was a Mafia Don's house. On paper, it was auctioned off after we put him in jail. The place is huge, but it's all done in minimalist. Not my taste at all. I hate that. You've got to have a little personality in your house. Rice says, there's plenty of food in the kitchen, and I say, is there a shower? Maybe someplace something clean I can wear? He says, there's 5 bedrooms and at least 6 bathrooms upstairs. Help yourself. You should see this place. The bedrooms were huge. Most of the showers were big enough to have a party in. And then I find the closet. It was full of designer clothes, all in my size. Did you take anything? Most of it was really out of date, but I found a few things I wanted. The best part was the secret door all the way to the back. It led to the most amazing bathroom I've ever seen. And when I come out of my extra long shower, I wrap myself in a super soft bathrobe, and I'm about to dry my hair when I hear shouting from downstairs. Where's the girl? I hear. I sneak to the top of the stairs. Malta and 2 guys have Agent Rice tied to a kitchen chair. Tell me you found a window to jump out of. No, I started trying to think of a distraction so I could free Rice. But while I was standing there, a hand covers my mouth. I need your pants. It's Heathcliff Ross. What? I whisper back. That 20 I gave you, I saw you put it in your pocket at the restaurant. I realized I had my distraction. I made another self-defense move that sends him tumbling down the stairs, and he lands right at Malta's feet. What are you doing here, she asks. And while everybody is looking at him, I sneak down and hide behind the love seat. From there, I could untie Ross without notice. Ross says, looking for the girl. If I get to her first, I owe you nothing. But with all this noise, she's probably long gone by now. Malta says, or she's behind that couch. I realize there's a mirror right next to me. Agent Rice jumps up and tackles the two guys as they run at me. One gets knocked out right off, but the other one puts up a fight. Malta comes at me from the other direction, and I manage to dodge her. Rice starts fighting with Ross, and they knock into me, and I fall on Malta. I hold her down until Rice finishes with Ross. We're just tying them up as Rice's backup shows up. He says, I can't believe Ross risked so much just to get to you. I say, oh, on the stairs he wanted the 20 he gave me earlier. So did you figure out what was so special? Yeah, it had the number of a locker at the bus station and the combo for a briefcase full of jewels that was in it. I spent the rest of the night at FBI headquarters, and I finally just got my purse back and a ride home about an hour ago. I kind of think you made all of that up because you didn't want to come to my party. Fine then, I guess you don't want the dress I found for you. I'll be there in 10 minutes.